Hi everyone, Tony here. Today we're going to be doing a My Wine Call All-in-One wine kit that I got from Wine Kits in Halifax. Thanks to Wine Kits for the kit. It retails for $29.99 and it makes approximately 4 liters of wine. So the benefit to this product, of course, is that you don't need any equipment. You don't need buckets, carboys, any of that stuff. It's all made in this handy dandy wine making bag. So we're going to move right on to step number one. So step number one is to take all the contents out, which we already have done, as you can see. And then we're going to peel the plastic ring and the foil tab from the spigot of the fermenting bag, which we have here. So this will make it easier to empty the wine out into the serving container later on. So we're just going to remove this little foil tab here. And we're going to try to remove this little foil tab here. There we go. So get that off, I'm going to remove this little red cover off of the bag, so now we have the open spigot. So our next step is to carefully empty the juice bag into the fermenting bag. So we will take off this cap and we will enter our juice into the bag. I always find the best way to do these is with a little bottle opener. So I'm going to just grab one of those. I have one right here. So we're just going to pop that open. A good thing to probably use for these would be a funnel. So we do have a funnel. Funnel is really good for something like this. Once our bag is filled up to the line and all of our yeast and bentonite is added, find a safe place to put your bag so that it won't be disturbed. And you're just going to place the cap on top. You're not going to tighten it. This allows the carbon dioxide that's created during the fermentation process to escape, and you won't have a mess or an exploded bag. Thanks, see you in 11 days. Hi everyone, we're back. It's been 11 days, and as you can see, there's no more activity in the bag. The fermentation has stopped. So our next step at this point is to add our sulfite and sorbate. The sulfite and sorbate help us to stop any active yeast cells that may still be in the wine. It also helps to preserve the shelf life. It's also going to help us to get rid of any other carbon dioxide that's in the wine. So we're going to open up the sorbite and sulfate, just a little fine powder there. We're just going to dump it into our wine, make sure we get it all in there. Then we're going to take our cap, we're going to tighten our cap back on, nice and tight. And we're going to give our bag some shakes. We're going to shake it. And we're going to loose our cap, and then gas out. We're going to do this 5 times. We'll set her back down. And we'll pop our cap off. Alrighty, so we did our 5 shakes on that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the Kitazine. So what Kitazine does is this helps to, between this and the Kitazine, it helps to latch on to the yeast particles and will actually cause them to fall to the bottom of your bucket or your bag, which is, so these are basically a fining or a clearing agent. So we're going to put the Kitazine in first. I'm just going to dump that in there. And then we're going to give the bag another shake. We get that all shooken in there. So our next step now is we have to wait 1 hour. Then we will add the Kitazine. And while you're waiting that 1 hour, make sure that your cap is not tight on the bag. Just sit it loose on the top of the bag just to let any other gas escape that needs to escape. Hi everyone. So we have waited our hour. We're now adding our Kitazine to our wine bag. This will be our last step of adding any chemicals or things of that nature. So we're just going to quickly cut the top off of our Kitazine here. And we are going to pour it into our bag. And once again, this helps to attach onto all the yeast particles and drop them over the bottom, which will make our wine nice and clear. So we are going to tighten our cap back on. We are going to shake our Kitazine in there. Get a nice good shake. Alright, now we're going to pop our cap off. We're going to let out some gas that got in there out. So pop that off. Let the gas out. So now what we're going to do is we are going to retighten the cap. And we're going to leave the container undisturbed for 5 days to let it clear. As it clears, you will see that stuff will drop to the bottom, and you'll be able to actually see through the wine as it clears. One thing to note, we put the cap back on tight. If you do notice over the course of the next 5 days that the bag is getting tight and there's pressure building up, just untighten the cap to release the gas, and then tighten the cap back on again. At this point, it's probably best to make sure that your bag is in its final resting place, because on the next couple of steps, it will be putting the wine that's in the bag into the serving bag. So we now have to wait 5 days for this to clear. Again, remember to check your cap, check your bag pressure. If there's a lot of pressure, release the pressure from opening up the cap, and we'll see everybody in 5 days. Hey folks, welcome back. So here we are at our very last day. As you can see, our wine is nice and clear all the way through. We have a little bit of sediment on the bottom, but we're not going to really worry about that too much. So our next step in this is to take off 1/4 of a cup of the wine from the bag into a measuring cup, and then we're going to discard that. So we're going to take this our little measuring cup here, and we're going to drain off the first 1/4 of a cup. That's about it there. So we're going to discard that. So we're just going to leave that there. Our next step is to remove our spigot from the bag, our fill bag. We're going to fill up from this. So I'm just going to, I've raised this up a little bit just to make it a little bit easier for filling. But we're just going to take that there, and we're ever so slowly going to get our fill started. Okay, so now we've drained the bag. We left about 2 inches in the bottom as per the instructions. So our next step is we're going to take our serving bag. We're going to make sure that we have no air. We're going to squeeze out what air is in there, what little air is in there. And we're going to take our spigot. We're going to push it in. You should hear it click 3 times. There we go. So our spigot is now all the way in on our serving bag. So our next step is to punch out the perforated section of our box. We have a little perforated section here on our box. We have a perforated section opened up. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our serving bag. I'm just going to sort of turn this nozzle around a little bit here. We're going to take our serving bag and we're going to place it into the box. We're going to put our serving bag in here. And try to keep the spigot nice and low. Once we have our bag in the box, we're going to reach through and get our spigot. Through the bottom of the box. And there we go. So then I'm going to take our box, seal it back up, and now we are all set to pour ourselves a glass of wine. So here we go, I got a glass. So we're just going to remove the foil from the bottom of our spigot. And then we are going to enjoy a nice glass of crystal clear wine. Cheers everyone. Thanks for watching.